Hey everybody, so I'm continuing part 2 of lesson 5 and we just left off at page 50 and we're on page 51 now, talking about measuring. So we've talked about the units of measurement that scientists use. Remember the international system, let's go back up here, the international system, the SI, how all the scientists around the world in America and worldwide use that system. So now we're talking about measuring time. Time describes how long events take. The base unit of time is the second. Larger units are the minute, the hour, and the day. So smaller units include the millisecond and microsecond. Clocks, stopwatches, timers, and calendars are some of the tools used to measure time. So measuring temperature. Temperature describes how hot or cold something is. Thermometers are used to measure temperature. Scientists measure temperature in degrees Celsius. So do most other people around the world. In the United States, degrees Fahrenheit are used to report the weather, to measure body temperatures, and in cooking. So we use Fahrenheit in the United States, not Celsius. And they look a bit different. It's not the same. Like if you were to say it's 70 degrees, that's not going to show up the same as Celsius. That's just something to keep in mind. So pan balance. You guys might have seen these. It looks like a scale, right? A pan balance is a tool used to measure mass. Mass is the amount of matter in an object, right? So the base unit of mass is the kilogram. 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. So let's look at this. With this balance, you can directly compare the masses of two objects. Put one object in each pan, right? One pan on each side. The pan that sinks lower contains the greater mass, like a scale, you know. The one side that's heavier it dips lower. To measure in grams, place an object in one pan. Add gram masses to the other pan until the two pans are balanced. Then add the values of the gram masses to find the total mass. Always carry a balance by holding its base. This pan balance has drawers where the masses are stored. See, those are where they're stored. 3 beams. A triple beam balance measures mass more exactly than the pan balance. It has 1 pan and 3 beams. To find the number of grams, move the sliders until the beam balances. You guys might have seen that at like the doctor when you step on the scale, and then the nurse moves the little beams side to side to get a balance and to find out the exact weight. It's very similar to that. Digital mass. An electronic balance calculates the mass of an object for you. It displays an object's mass on the screen, right? Like a deli scale. It looks like a deli scale. So right here is where the mass appears. How strong? A spring scale is a tool used to measure force. Force is a push or a pull. A push or a pull, not a pool. You don't dive in it. When an object hangs down from the scale, the force of gravity or weight is measured. So this is very important to bear in mind because this is one of your vocab words. When the spring scale is used to pull an object, it measures the force needed to move the object. Either way, the base unit is called a Newton, like Isaac Newton. So, I think you might have this in your section to answer for read along. I'm pretty sure. More measuring. It's a hot day and you're thirsty. How much lemonade would you like? That sounds good, lemonade. 1,000 milliliters or 1,000 cubic centimeters. I'm not sure. Read on. So we need to know, based on what we're measuring, which type of unit of measurement we need. So units of volume. Volume is the amount of space a solid, liquid, or gas takes up. There are 2 base metric units for measuring volume. A cubic meter is 1 meter long, 1 meter high, and 1 meter wide. A liter is the base unit often used for measuring the volume of liquids. You're probably familiar with liters because many drinks are sold in 1 liter or 2 liter bottles. These two metric units of volume are closely related. There are 1,000 liters in 1 cubic meter. So then they show you the different containers that are holding the liquids, right? They all contain different volumes. And there's the dropper again. Finding volume. You can find the volume of a rectangular prism by multiplying length times width times height. Remember, we do that in athletics all the time. To find the volume of a liquid, use a measuring cup, beaker, or graduated cylinder. Use water to find the volume of an irregular solid. Put water in a graduated cylinder. Note the volume. Then drop the object in and note the new volume. Subtract the two numbers to find the volume of the object. So here it's a graduated cylinder that they were talking about. And you're finding the difference to find the volume of the object, right? Okay. Because you're using the same, it's the same shape, right? And so you're taking from two different shaped, when you're finding the volume, you can put it in the graduated cylinder and subtract the difference to tell you how much volume the object has. Liquid, the surface of a liquid in a graduated cylinder is curved. This curve is called a meniscus. Always measure volume at the bottom of the meniscus. Okay. Accurate measurements. When a measurement is close to the true size, it is accurate. Another vocab word. Try to measure as accurately as you can with the tools you have. Make sure a tool is not broken and that you know how to use it properly. Also, pay attention to the units on the tools you use. Accurate measurements are important when doing scientific investigation, when baking, and when taking medicines. So follow these tips to improve your accuracy. Handle each tool properly. Use each tool the same way every time. For example, read the measurement at eye level. Measure to the smallest place value the tool allows. Measure twice. Record your measurements carefully, including the units. And see, she's baking, and baking takes exact measurement, and that's why they're showing that there. So this concludes our part 2, but also the whole lesson 5. So we've learned a lot of the different tools that you use in scientific investigation, and we've seen these different tools. Here's your beakers, and you have your graduated cylinders, your rectangular prisms, and your measuring cups. And you've also have your units of measurement as well. And I would watch this again before doing your brain check, and make sure that if you have any questions, you just ask me, and you can always look over your book, and don't forget to do your sections and your follow along, okay? So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.